Yeah.
Hey yo, man, it's your time. Man, fuck poverty. Get this money, man. The fuck you gotta do, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil.
And I'm Leroy. So what's going on, Phil?
Nothing, chilling, just talking shit about our Sixers.
And what you say about the Sixers?
They in trouble.
Hey,
All that off season hype is down the drain.
hey, look, that's your coach. That's your coach. Doc Rivers was a bad fit for this team from the jump anyway.
It's the coach, but it's also the players because they put a stat up. Was talking about how long James Harden dribbled the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he dribbles the ball like fucking double what the rest of the teammates combined dribble. So
Well, did you think anything was going to be different? That's what he do.
Well, last year he wasn't as aggressive. He was more about passing. This year he's been old James Harden. He lost that weight. He only got that 1 year deal. So now he's ready to get some money. So he's about to start scoring again. Saying the hell with everybody else.
That's right. I don't. That's why I said he was a bad pick. I would have stayed with Ben Simmons. That was a bad pick from the jump anyway.
Right. And see, I got on Mike about that. He's like, no, we need the shooting. I said, so you give up defense for shooting when you already had shooters? I said, what has James Harden done since he's been in the playoffs?
Nothing.
35 points in the regular season and losing the playoffs every year.
Yep.
So it's a combination of everything. I blame most of the weight on the coach, but James Harden got to get a piece of it because he's more aggressive now and he's not getting other players involved. And then the third factor is Embiid. After the first game, and he had I think 6 turnovers. I was getting on him about that, and Mike was like, "It's only the first game. It's only the first game." I said, "It's funny how you can say that's only the first game, but when Ben Simmons had a bad game the first game, you was all over him." You know what I mean? So which is it? Either is a bad game or is the first game. You can't pick and choose who has a bad game and say, "Oh, that's just the first game," but then defend it when your boy do it, and then I throw it in your face, and then you say, "Well, it's just the first game."
Mm-hmm.
So I think he had 6 turnovers the first game, then 4 the next, and then 2 last night. So that's 12 turnovers in 3 games. You can't win like that. He dribbles the ball too much, and you can tell when his shoulders is down and he moping around. His head not even in the game.
And he move in slow motion. Like I said, when
like you don't even care.
Right, he'll turn the ball over and just like stand there.
He's the only center I know that's supposed to be a dominating MVP force that had 2 games where he went 0 for anything in the second half. Like 0 for 7 and 0 for 6, I think it was, in the second half. Like, how do you do that? You shooting jumpers. Stop shooting all them damn jumpers. Now the story comes out that he's playing with plantar fasciitis or whatever, like his foot is all fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. He's always hurt. If you hurt, sit your ass down the hill. Don't keep playing, and then when you stink up the joint, oh, you hurt. But when you dominate, oh, he's MVP. He should be MVP. He kicking butt. No, you can't have it both ways. Either you hurt and you playing like shit while you're hurt, or you're hurt and you're playing like good. So if it can go either way, then you can't throw that in the mix.
Right. Well, speaking of Philadelphia sports, we had to say shout out to the Philadelphia Phillies. They beat the Padres last night 10-6 to take a 3-1 lead. One more game and we in the World Series. The game is tonight. And the next game, it'll be in San Diego. If they lose, it'll be, I think, Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to them. Good game last night too. Who would have thought what?
We got a chance to go to the World Series.
Yep, especially how the way the beginning of the season turned out, and they was stinking up the joint, fired their manager, and they just went on a complete turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And also, shout out to our Philadelphia sports stepbrothers, the Philadelphia Union. The Philadelphia Union is going to their Eastern Conference Championship. They're going against they beat Cincinnati 1-0 on Thursday. They're going against either New York or Montreal, I want to say. Yeah, Montreal. Montreal and New York's game is today, so they'll face either of the two. But Philadelphia Union is number 1 in their conference. They got a lot of wins, but they also got a lot of ties too. But I only think they lost like 4 or 5 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Would you ever go to a game?
Oh yeah, it looks fun. Yeah, I would go to a game.
I see tickets on my website all the time, but I just don't try to get them. I also see the Giants tickets. I see the Redskins tickets and I see the Ravens tickets.
Oh, Ravens versus you talking about not the Eagles versus
No,
the
they're not
Dolphins.
playing the Eagles. You have to go to their town.
Yeah. All right. So we got a viral video of the week. Video of the week is our brother, Mr. Alex Mingus of St. Paul, Minnesota. Now the story is Mr. Mingus was going to work with his wife when he heard gunshots and he saw a van speed by. So they followed the van, and a guy had came out of the van with his I think he was shot in the arm. Yeah, he was shot in the arm, and he was bleeding profusely. So Mr. Mingus is a gun safety instructor, so he know a little bit about first aid, and he stopped the bleeding. He wrapped the guy's arm and stopped the bleeding with a shirt. He stopped the bleeding with a shirt, and while he was doing this, the police passed him. The police passed him numerous times. So Mr. Biggest stopped the guy from dying, and the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, wanted to give him a give him a ceremony for Valor. Sorry for laughing about this, ladies and gentlemen, because I just think this is funny. So they wanted to throw him a ceremony from Valor, and this is how the ceremony went.
Congratulations. I'd like to give you an opportunity to say a few words.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I feel like I did what anyone would have done.
Now, once he pulled his shirt off and he got a smashed white supremacy t-shirt, I know them cops around him like, yep. Oh shit, here we go.
Somebody go sideways, cut the cameras. That's what they should have said.
With the little bit of training that I have, I'm a certified firearms instructor. I work in this high school in Minneapolis. I'm a dad and a husband and a wonderful community member. That day, 9 of your squad cars raced past us as I was flagging them down. It said in the letter you sent me. And that was a potential of 18 people. 18 people could have stopped to help preserve life. But 18 people chose to go to a potential threat. And I recognized the man had a pistol and we didn't know what he was doing. I do appreciate the recognition, but I won't keep this stuff. This will go to my mom, and this will probably go to my son, because I'm very uncomfortable being here with you guys. I do not rock with the police. But I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to say these things, and I just want folks to know that they don't keep us safe. We keep us safe. Riots work. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Alex.
Can you take this with me?
This is true, yeah.
Thank you. Y'all be safe out here.
Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I know that cop right there said, "Oh yep. Shit."
You know this face when like a lot of the older white guys make when they just like, what the hell, and they like tuck their lip. That's what he did. And I thought that was the funniest shit. But the thing is, they should have interviewed this guy first and got like a feel for what like his personality is, and said, well, you know what, we just gonna put this in the paper and give him an award and mail this shit to his house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or record the interview. Don't make it live, because you know how people can cut up.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, they should have got. They should have did a dry run first and see where his head was at. Uh-huh. They said, "Oh shit, here we go."
We actually need more people like this. When shit goes sideways, instead of like giving the cops all these props and shit. When you got something negative to say, surprise attack their ads on live TV.
And the thing about it, what about the hospital or something, or a doctor should have gave him some type of award and not the cops, because he the one that he helped the guy, he saved the guy from dying. That's a medical thing, not a police thing. It's not like he like stopped the robber.
Yeah, but they both could have gave an award.
True. Well, here we go. We going to Houston, Texas, when we got 16-year-old twins who escaped an alleged house of horrors in Texas. They were subject to various tortures, including made drink cleaning fluids, being burnt with bleach, and beaten with extension cords. Here's the video. Oh, well, this report to y'all, but we'll see the video.
A mother and her boyfriend accused of handcuffing her children, starving them, and holding them captive in a laundry room are set
The mom is 40 and the boyfriend is like 27.
to be brought back to Harris County tomorrow.
Zakia Duncan and Jova Terrell were found in Baton Rouge after an Amber Alert was issued in Texas. Matt Doherty in Cypress tonight with the video of the teen twins starving and begging for help. We want to alert you, the images you're about to see are difficult to watch. Matt?
If it's so difficult, then why are you playing it?
Nobody could have imagined what was allegedly happening inside of this home. The kids who escaped described a life that is truly a nightmare.
It's close to 5 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Home surveillance cameras show this pair of 16-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, who have just escaped. They spent more than half an hour going door to door, desperately seeking help.
You need some help?
Yes. Can you put a lot of sand, please?
What's wrong with you? What? What happened?
Please. We just need someone to be right now.
No, we can't do that.
Unsure of the
Yeah, you're your own little bit niggas. Dale,
But the thing is, the kids should have been more aware of what to say. Like, they just like, open the door, let us in. We need somewhere to be. Like, what's going on? Tell them what's going on.
Well, I'll get to that at the end of the show. But my thing, I got it. Well, they talked about this on, this is national news. So they talked about this on Good Morning America. My mom had called me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, and they played that part where we just listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, well, I would just let them in. I said, no, I wouldn't. You don't know what people was up to. They can act like they hostages and no clothes on. It could have been somebody behind the wall there waiting for you to open the door so they can rush right in. You don't know what people was up to. See, my thing is, what I would have done, I'd have been like, well, all right, then, well, hold on. I would have called the police. And once when I seen the police out there, then I would have opened the door and came out. That's one scenario. The other scenario is Texas. Okay. I would have had my gun and I would have opened the door with my gun in my hand. I wouldn't have pointed it. I'd have just had it in my hand where, no, the kids wouldn't see. Now, if I see like they really are hurting, upset, and I brought them in the house, then I'll put my gun, lock the door, and put my gun away and call the police. So there's ways to do that. He didn't really have to brush them kids off like that.
And they said it was freezing out there. So when you see people with no socks and shoes on and no shirt, you already know it's like a dire situation.
Right.
Probably like how you just said you had two scenarios. I got two scenarios too. The one, like you said, I would have had my gun. I'd have let them in, but my gun would have been on them the whole time to try to see what's going on. Lock the door, and they ain't. Once you got them in the house, they don't have no weapons or nothing. Then you can like give them some clothes to put on and give them some food or something while you call the cops. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the second scenario, you'd be like, all right, well, get off my porch. And then when they walk off the porch, then you put out a blanket and some clothes and some food out there for them to grab while you call the cops. But just to brush them off is just fucked up.
Right.
circumstances, nearly all of the neighbors told the twins to keep moving. At about 5:30, the temperature was in the 50s.
It was exactly 5:27 in the morning when I heard the doorbell ring.
A single mother at home with her daughter was the first and only person to open the door.
I just knew they were kids right away, so I quickly opened the door. I told them to come in, and I quickly shut the door and I locked it.
The woman, who asked that we not use her name or show her face, says she led the twins to her kitchen.
I sat them down. I brought them blankets.
Goodness gracious, look at that kid's hands.
And the kids still had handcuffs on one of the arms. So like, if it was a setup, they wouldn't have handcuffs on their arm and bare feet and all this stuff. I don't see that happening. So I wouldn't have been thinking real hard as a setup, but my spider senses still would have been tingling just to make sure.
Right.
The voice said was, "We're starving." Basically, we're saying like,
damn, look at her hands. She been tied up for a long ass time.
Looking at the 16-year-olds, it was obvious. After getting them something to eat, she started asking questions.
When the little girl was here standing, she was visibly shaking and was showing me her handcuffs. They would say, "We just broke out of these." They told me that their mom kept them locked in the laundry room, naked, zip-tied from the ankles and handcuffed from the wrist. They said we would pee and poop on ourselves. And they said when we needed to bathe, the mom would let them use the dirty mop water to bathe. They didn't get a bath. They got dirty mop water.
It turned out Zakia Duncan had been arrested for child abuse in the past in Louisiana. Court documents show her children were removed from the home back in 2012. We asked Louisiana's Department of Children and Family Services why the kids were returned, but they told us state law prevents the agency from even acknowledging an
Right. My thing is, if you have this type of child protection service and you gotta return the kids back, why even have child protective service if you ain't really doing anything?
Right. Once those kids get taken away for stuff like that, they shouldn't get the kid back.
Right.
Investigation.
How can a mother do this to their kids? You know, how can a mother feel like this is okay to do? They deserve it. No kid deserves this.
We spoke with psychologist Dr. Whitney Krausen with Houston's Children's Assessment Center. She says children who suffer this kind of abuse can recover with the proper help.
Oftentimes we think there's no way they can possibly get through all of this, but children are so much more resilient than we give them credit for.
But see, they not that little though. They 16, so especially a young girl. How in the hell she gonna get through this? Because she's gonna become a mother, and how the hell she gonna treat her child when she never had an example of a good parent?
They need serious counseling.
Exactly. Now I could see her point if these kids were little, but she's 16. Damn, 4 more years, 5 years. Well, 2 years she'd be considered adult, 18, but she'll be 21 in 5 years. So that 5 years from now is not long, not long from here. And she's gonna wind up being a mother, and she never had an example of being a good parent when you was damn chained up in the laundry room with those. You been locked up. These kids been tied up for a long ass time because you don't get those bruises on your arm like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all
that's like deep bruises into the skin where you can tell like something was on them tight for a long time.
Right. And then those extension cord beatings, they look like the slavery beatings when the slaves was beaten with extension cords and they took a picture of it.
Well, that's how that shit bruised up.
Mm-hmm.
Really what they need is just ongoing and consistent support.
In Cyprus, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Now, we know this is an incredibly difficult topic to hear about, especially for survivors of abuse. If you or someone you know is in need of help, you can call any of these organizations on the screen. We also have these numbers and links to help. All at
And this lady has 7 kids.
Yes.
That's crazy. And did you see that house? That's a big ass nice house.
Well, here we go. The family had recently moved into a brand new $600,000 home in Cypress, Texas. With neighbors said they only been living there for 2 weeks. Now, what I said, well, hold on for a second. How you think they paid? How she think she paid for that $600,000 house?
Some bullshit ass. What is it called? Not the stimulus, the other scam one.
What?
The other scam that everybody was doing, getting them checks. What was it called? A PPP loan.
No, it could be that. And it also because, she probably said those kids were slow because I'm pretty sure they weren't going to school. So that's why I don't think they really knew, what to say when you said what to say at the door. Because the hell, was they watching TV being chained up in the laundry room or anything like that? 9 times out of 10, they weren't going to school because if they was going to school and the teacher seen that. That's another thing. What the hell happened to did they get rid of like truancy officers and all that stuff that like chase down kids houses to see if the kids is going to school? Do they still do that?
I have no idea.
Because the way them kids was tied up and them arms and them sores on them arms, them kids weren't going to school. They probably haven't been in school in years.
Yeah, but it could have been maybe they never was registered to begin with. Like you said, maybe they were slow, so they were supposed to be homeschooled or whatever. And she was just keeping the money and tied them up.
Yeah, so that's why I think that where that hot money for that house come from, living it up.
See, that's the first I heard you telling me about the house. I just saw pictures of the house, and I'm like, damn, how this lady get this house like that?
Right, because it looked like it was a nice neighborhood. All the houses look nice.
Nice neighborhood, big old house. You say $600,000 house?
Yes.
It's crazy.
And shout out to that woman too that opened the door for them kids and did the interview. Shout out to her.
I know them other people that just turning away. They must feel like shit. Like people's at my door, and then as probably like 4 or 5 houses they went to, they only keep showing the 2 black guys.
Yeah.
Like, well, damn, can you show the other people too? I ain't in this on my
own. Damn.
So they keep showing the 2 black guys that told them to get off their step, and then they show the white lady as the hero, and she's the one to open the door. But what happened to the other 2 people? And I wouldn't even have submitted my video if that shit came out.
Right.
I'd have fucking deleted that shit real fast. I wouldn't be like, hey, I got a video too with me being ignorant, telling them kids to get off my step. Hell no.
Well, I know you better get your asses off my step.
Yeah, I would have deleted that shit and I'd have never said, hey, they probably went door to door. You got cameras? Yeah, my camera wasn't working that day.
All my man had to say, well, look, well, all right then, well, hold on right there. Let me call the police. What happened? You was locked up and chained up. Well, hold on for a second. Let me call the police. Then when the police came, then you could have opened your door and gave the kids food and all that shit before, the police took them away. Took her to some treatment. I don't know where the
You see it's below 50 degrees on. The boy ain't got no shirt. Neither one of them got on socks and shoes. They look like they, when you cold, you tighten up.
Right.
They all shivered and tightened up. So like something ain't right. So to just say, hey, get off my steps, and they kids, like, damn. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, but still.
Yeah, I feel bad for them kids because they got a mountain to climb. They got a mountain to climb. First of all, they need treatment for the abuse they suffered, and like I said, education wise, because them kids weren't going to school. They weren't getting any type of education. Not with them arms and hands look like that. Yeah, I hope they make it out all right. Well, we stand in Houston, Philip, and we gonna talk about I'm sorry, laughing, y'all.
Yeah, you're not.
We gonna talk about janitor Lucio Diaz, who was arrested when a janitor tainted a woman's water bottle and the office employee water dispenser. Here's the report.
50-year-old Lucio Diaz inside the victim's office last month to clean her water bottle out in the open. What happened next is disturbing.
Pulls out his penis and proceeds to stick his penis into my water, probably, I would say maybe halfway in, and then tilt the bottle back and basically rinse his penis into my water.
The same thing.
That's not funny.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because she at work and you. Oh, but well, wait till you see the rest of the story. But
is this her office?
Her office or job office?
Like her office. Like, where's the other people at?
No, they'll get into that. But I hate to laugh. He took and washed his thing and his water bottle. Like, damn, you would think that you could just have your bottles open and your sodas open. You don't know that somebody gonna walk in and dip their thing in it.
Man, I don't leave nothing open on the freebie for anybody to touch.
Caught on camera not once but 2 days in a row, says the victim, who does not want to be identified. With the police investigation still underway, she shared only this still image from video that ABC 13 watched.
Now, my thing is, did she think that something was going on? This must have been a long time thing, and something was going on. Like, look, let me put my camera there. Right.
I was very, very scared.
Because she already drunk fucking penis water before, and it tasted a little weird.
Yep.
I immediately thought, what if he has a disease?
In late August, she noticed a foul smell in the employee water dispenser like this one at the doctor's office where she worked.
This motherfucker.
It was a doctor's office, but my thing is, like, he must really hate them, because he took the water out the water off the water bottle, out the water dispenser, pissed in the jug, and put the water back.
Now, how can you do that without it being a mess? Because if that water thing is full, when you pull that off, that water start pouring out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I used to change them all the time at the job, and you put it right in position, then you pop the top and shut it down real quick, so it'll just start pouring in. So if you try to take that off, man, all that water be gushing everywhere. Like, where is the other workers at?
Yeah.
How's he got all this free time to just be fucking around at the job?
East Freeway. Then in late September, she thought her own water bottle had been tainted with urine. Sure enough, court records say a urinalysis confirmed it. But it was a spy camera she bought that left no question.
Okay, there you go. So she was tasting penis water, like you said, piss water. And she said, something ain't right. I'm going to leave my shit. I'm going to leave a camera here and see what I pick up.
She says, and
Mr. Diaz came in and pissed in it.
Why are you drinking water that smell like piss?
He said, fuck everybody that work in this building.
And see, I don't do that. Water is cheap. You go buy you a fucking case of water and you bring you a fresh bottle to work, or 2 bottles to work, or whatever.
Devastating news to the married mother of 2.
I learned that I acquired an STD, for which he has also come back as.
Now, is that
Damn.
herpes? That's herpes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know her husband is like, are you sure that's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
happened?
You fooling around with me. I don't like this story.
What'd you say?
He's probably like, yo, you fooling around with me. I don't like the story that you're giving.
Are you sure that's what happened? No, I'm serious. That man pissed in my water bottle. Are you sure? Because it sounds like it's more to the story.
Tested positive for.
Did he violate you?
Of course. He did. That's what he did to me. He gave me an STD that I will have for the rest of my life. Nothing's going to change it. Nothing's going to make it better for me. In fact, I feel like for the rest of my life, I'm just going to have to be careful.
Diaz has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Court records show he is currently in ICE.
So his penis is his dangerous.
I didn't even know you can get a STD from drinking piss water.
I guess so.
Custody, the Mexican national's immigration and work status unclear. The victim
about to
says
get
he
deported.
continued to work at the building even after management was notified. She is working with an attorney.
Well, that's what happened. The building provided the cleaning.
Okay.
And they had complained about it. Something was going on there, and the building management didn't do anything, which means this woman here is going to be a millionaire. So
why
go.
did they still allow him to come to work while he's being investigated?
That's the problem. That's
that
the
shit
problem
the
there.
cops
Right.
do. The cops commit a crime and they still be sitting there getting paid and working and shit.
Right. That's the problem. So like I say, well, she do got herpes though, but she is going to be a millionaire because they complained about it and they talked about it before and the management didn't do anything. And he's still on the job when all this shit was going on. So she going to sue the pants off this damn. They might as well just give her half the company.
Attorney. They have a duty.
Well, they're going out of business because everybody can just say, I drunk out of that damn water bottle too.
Mm-hmm.
That is in that building, especially the tenants that pay their rent there, and they wholly failed in those duties and responsibilities.
How do you pay? What do you mean pay rent? If this is a medical building, what you mean pay rent?
Well, the building, they whoever owns the building, the medical is a medical building, but whoever owns the it could be under a different.
She said like tenants that's paying rent, like it's places.
Yeah, because it might be might be a medical building, but upstairs might be the ophthalmologist. Downstairs might be podiatrist, and they all paying rent.
Okay.
Hara responded, saying management cooperated with Houston police as soon as they were made aware. Quote, they were advised by the police to not alert or approach the alleged perpetrator so that he could be arrested. He was arrested when he returned to the building.
He assaulted me. He took away my peace of mind.
HPD major offenders investigators believe more people have been infected.
That's a crime, but is that really assault?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, what's the crime then?
The crime, it ain't assault. It's something, but it ain't assault.
Follow. This victim says she wants Diaz to pay.
If I'm going to be worried about this the rest of my life, I think he should too.
Oh, he don't give a shit because
the crime would be like poisoning or something like that.
He's probably an illegal and he don't give a shit.
Yeah, they'll just deport him and that's it.
Sorry for that lady also for her to go through that. And like Philip said, don't leave your open water bottles out. You got water, you bought water that day, drink it. If you don't drink it that day, throw that shit in the trash or, put it down, put the water down the sink and throw it in the trash. The water dispenser, if you taste that shit or you smell that shit and you see something ain't right, don't drink out of it. If you say, oh shit, this don't taste right, then buy your own damn water.
Yeah, like you can look at water and say, well, why that look a little foggy? Or why does it smell a little funny? But you still drink it? Like that don't make sense to me.
Right.
That thirsty, you just gonna drink some bullshit.
Right.
Making money, go buy you a fucking case of water and keep it in your locker or something. I don't know.
Exactly, or under your desk or some shit or something. Don't leave water there overnight and all that stuff. No, throw that shit out.
At my job, they leave water bottles all the time in the office, and I just go around, pick them up, and throw them in the trash. Sometimes they be like, "Hey, you see a water bottle sitting over there? Yeah, it's in the trash. I didn't know it was yours." That's what I always say. Like, don't leave your water bottles laying around because I'm gonna throw them in the trash.
Right. All right, now last week we talked about our girl Nori Martinez when she talked about taking a 2-year-old around the corner and give him a beating. They always got this thing about beating black boys. I don't know. That's something that we need to discuss. Not we. I'm talking about people in general. Need to discuss about why is always you want to give punishment to black boys. I don't know if it's sexual.
It's not just punishment, it's also punishment and embarrassment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know if it's a sexual or a psychological thing, whereas though I can't beat or embarrass this man, but I can do it to this child, to this, black boy. I don't get it, but that's something that we need to discuss because that's something that we never talk about, but we see it all the time. So I told Philip about this clip that happened in 2019. It was 2019. I had sent it to you on Twitter. You seen it, but you probably don't remember it. Now it was a lady going to school to beat her kid. Now it's some parts that's kind of slow, and I'll try to commentate for everyone out here. So here's the video that I talked to Philip about last week.
First of all, I apologize for the way he acted.
Now, the lady here, the woman that's talking, that's the mom, and she's talking to the teacher, and her girlfriend is recording it.
But I'm about to beat his ass. I'm gonna let you know that right now, because this not going on. He in that lunchroom. You stay right here. You stay right here. I need you to stay right here.
So she just said that she came up there and she about to beat his ass, and now the kid's at lunch, and now she's going to look for him at lunch. I believe this kid is 7.
And I see why she called scared.
And like I said, her girlfriend is recording.
Oh, shoot, that you walking too fast. I can't keep up with you. Shit, now I gotta.
That's her girlfriend that's recording. I can't keep up with you, boy. If I'm that girl's father, I mean that boy's son, that boy's father. I'm sorry. I'll have to get somebody to get the beat that the camera woman up. Cause why are you there?
To record.
I gotta.
You know she out of shape because the girl barely even went like fucking 5 yards and she already out of breath and talking about she can't keep up.
Right.
Be walk with you. Shit.
And the teacher shouldn't have let her go in there.
Right. Well, I'll get to that one. Now she's in the lunchroom. It's a lunchroom with a whole bunch of kids there. They're eating lunch, and she's looking for the kid. What'd you say?
I said Debo standing over the top of everybody looking for the rest of
So all that noise is the kids.
Who y'all looking for?
Carterius, look over here. I think first. He's gonna be on this.
That's the camera woman talking to, I guess, some school aide, a lunch aide.
Staff.
Yeah, asking him, they're looking for the kid and what grade he in, and he's like showing him where you can find him.
Okay.
So now she's walking with the lunch aide or the school staff, trying to find the kid. This is the camera woman.
I never saw this video, by the way.
Yeah, I sent it to you when it happened.
We're not. Hey,
So our little brother there, he saw his mom. He was like way in the back on the other side of the room.
Running. You knew what time it was.
No. When he seen her, he ran towards her. He like, oh hey, like he was like happy to see her or something. And as you see, she gripped him up by the back of his shirt. Now, she gripped him up by the back of his shirt. They still in the lunchroom. She's dragging him out, like I said, by his shirt. Now, keep in mind, you hear all the noise. It's a lunchroom, so there's a whole bunch of kids there, and all the kids are staring at her while she's gripping him up and leading him out the room. She's taking him where the teacher was.
No! You being disrespectful because you want to fuck the teacher? Oh, you know you should be so angry, boy. Wait, I'm gonna fuck you and I'm not paying. So what you tell her? What you say?
Now, that's her beating him with a belt. they about to go to the teacher.
Get up, get up. Don't play with me. Let's talk to her. Hey, what you tell her? I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. You know, talk. Get over.
Now she's got him in front of the teacher. He's apologizing. I can't tell what he did because he was crying. I just heard him say, "I'm sorry."
But why is she telling him to apologize? But every time he started talking, she's smacking him with the belt.
Right.
Who can
So
talk while you getting the ass whipping?
right. So she's beating him in front of the teacher while she's just standing there. This is everything what we just talked about in this one little clip right here.
Motherfucking ass back here now, nigga. Where? Oh, we gonna have this problem anymore? No. Cause I gotta come back up here. It's me and you, nigga. It's me and you. Everything gone, nigga. No outside, no nothing. If this fucking woman come in, I'm gonna break your fucking face. Do you hear me? Have a nice day. And every home, every piece of work he ain't got, every work homework he ain't do, please send it home. I'm sorry. Please send it home today. You in that room until you die, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? This woman ain't gotta come here to teach none of you badass kids, but she do. But don't play with me, nigga. Make me get that call again. You ain't think I was coming up here on your ass. You lucky I was trying to find you in that classroom. I will whoop you where you act up at.
So this little boy is the only one acting up in this classroom. I seriously doubt it. He's a child. He's 7. That's what they do.
Now play in the classroom now. Everybody gonna talk about you now. Bye.
Oh, embarrassing him, huh?
They ain't gonna talk about him because they ain't see it.
Oh, social media. I see his video, so one of them little bastards seen
Nah,
it.
when you say first grade, they ain't paying no attention to stuff like that. They looking at videos of cartoons and stuff.
Okay. That's my school. Oh, no, that's my school.
To the left, to the left.
He gonna come in there, he's still gonna be sniffling and he can wipe his tears away and stuff. What happened? Man, my mom had a situation.
Now, that was the camera woman saying to the left, as it was sort of some conquest they just conquered or something. Now, that freshly ass whooped belt, she just threw in the trash.
Good, how are you?
The school and the teachers shouldn't allow her to just come in there like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the clip, but it's everything we just said. First of all, if that woman, if a man did that to his daughter, if a man had went up to that teacher and say, "Oh, where she at? She at lunch? Okay, I'm gonna go and whoop her ass." That teacher would have stayed right there when he walked away and went and called the school security or something over there. She wouldn't have just stood right there.
Well, you see it all the time in the news. Anytime a guy beats his kids, they're getting arrested.
Right.
For abuse.
Right. And if that man would have came outside with his daughter, gripping his daughter up and calling her a little B, it's me and you, little B. Now I'm gonna tell you, you keep messing up. Well, I've got something news for you, little B. You ain't gonna be outside or none of that stuff. That man would have been in jail that same day.
Yeah.
He would have been in jail talking like that. I tell you, I don't there's something psychological there. I don't know if it's from slavery. Well, is it from slavery? Because here's a black woman doing it, black woman beating her child. We got Nori Martinez saying that she would that kid need a 2-year-old need to go around the corner and beat a kid for need a beating just because the kid was acting like he was 2 years old. We got this woman right here beating this kid. Well, I don't know. It's something psychological weird because you never hear anything about no kid or no other race being treated like this. A boy, I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, even if you look at like our family, like the people in my family that did the whippings was all females. Like my mom, my aunts, my grandma. Like I ain't had no uncles that pulled out a belt and beat us. I ain't had my dad beating me. Like it was always the females.
Right. So yeah, it's something we need to talk about. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if it's like some psychological wise, like I can't beat a grown man if he make me mad or do something, but I can embarrass and beat this little boy. Or is something sexual, like you getting off? Because the camera woman, what's she there for?
To record it.
But why?
I think it got a lot to do with the kid's father too. Like deep down, these moms is probably hating that the man is not with them. So when they see the kid, that's all they see is the dad, and they taking out their frustrations on the kid because it didn't work out with the dad.
But that's not her child, the camera woman.
No, she's just there because her girlfriend asked her to come with her.
Boy, if I was that boy's father,
all you got to do is go to court, and he can get custody just by showing this video.
Right. And I think this is Chicago, by the way. I don't know if I said it. Now, the second video is from Detroit. Now,
question: whatever happened to that lady right there?
Oh, I don't know. I remember that they was social media was giving her hell, and she had made a Facebook video saying that, yeah, that's my child, and he was being bad, and yes, I did beat him. Like, she ain't apologizing.
I probably was away on military when you sent me this because I don't remember none of this stuff.
Well, but this next video is from 2018, Detroit. 30-year-old Rolando Paul was caught on surveillance video abusing her 2-year-old son, another 2-year-old being beaten. Here we go.
This next story comes with some very disturbing video. In Detroit, a woman was caught on camera pushing and hitting a little boy. Right now, that woman is accused of child abuse.
She was 30 years old at that time in 2018. She's not 30 now. She's older.
Today, Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly spoke to the family who stands behind the woman, insisting she's a good mom.
I never saw that side of her before, so it's like, wow, that Rolanda?
Yeah, right. She
Exactly.
Rolanda known for whooping ass.
A shocking scene captured outside of a Detroit apartment complex. A woman walking with her son engaged in what looks to be a brutal beatdown.
Now, what the news didn't say is the kid was walking in front of the mom. The mom went and tripped the little boy.
It looked like she kicked him.
Oh, see, let me go back because I thought she had tripped him. Dude, she didn't talk about that part.
Wow, that Rolanda?
Slow when she kicked him.
A shocking scene captured outside of a Detroit apartment complex. A woman walking with her son engaged in what looks to be a brutal beatdown. But the woman's family.
And she just kicked the kid while he was down. This is a 2-year-old now.
Is coming to her defense.
I never seen her like that before.
Sure you didn't.
She has to be going through something. She's a very phenomenal woman. She'll give you the shirt off her
Spell phenomenal, ma'am.
back.
Family members have identified the woman as 30-year-old Rolanda Paul. And despite what the eye may see, her sister says Paul is a good mother to her son, 2-year-old Dante, and they have never seen her behave like this before.
She would never do anything.
She did.
Yep. Yes, she did.
Anything to hurt him. As you can see, he looks like a nice young man,
He looks like a nice
Shut
young
up,
man.
girl. Why do you record this dummy? Nice young man getting slapped in the face and kicked in the ass on the ground.
He's not in any harm.
Detroit police tell Fox 2 that the incident happened at 5 p.m. on Tuesday on Delaware Street, and it was all captured on video. Police say if you see something like this, you should always report it, and that's exactly what took place.
She put her purse down, her bag down, just to whoop his ass.
Police say it was brought to their attention on Thursday, and that's when the mother.
This is a 2-year-old. What can it do? Look, you a parent. I'm not a parent or anything. Not yet. But what can a 2-year-old do to get beaten like that? I asking you the question.
I don't know, because my daughter's 4 and I don't beat her. You know what I mean? And I don't believe in whippings because I got whippings all my life growing up, me and my brothers and stuff. So I think it's wrong. And it's crazy because I can just yell at my daughter and she can start crying. You know what I mean? So what do I need to hit her for?
Mother was arrested at her family's home in Detroit and taken into police custody.
That was very shocking to see that because she's never been in trouble with the law.
And that's why family members say they don't know why this loving mother would do such a thing.
She's not a loving mother.
Oh, yeah, right. And this reporter here is an idiot for even saying something like that.
Job, she has her own place. She lives downtown. I don't understand.
So she got her own job. She got her own place.
What they got to do
and
with
she lived downtown. Right.
What has Paul said to her family?
She's ashamed of her actions.
Police say a warrant package will be sent to the prosecutor's office for
Say it again.
She's not ashamed. She's ashamed it got recorded.
review, and Paul is currently in police custody. As for Dante, the family says he is healthy and well and misses his mother.
He wouldn't go to sleep last night. He like, I want my mama.
In Detroit.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Yep. Yeah, so that's two stories. Two women abusing their black sons.
That's crazy. 2-year-old and a first grader and stuff. That's way too young to be hitting on kids like that.
Yes, like I say, and okay, that's another thing in school. Like I said, I think he was 6 or 7, the first kid. Now, what can it?
Wait, I think it's 5. No, that's kindergarten. Hold on. How old is a kid in the first grade?
6?
5 or 6.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, what can a kid that age do in school to get beaten like that? You the parent, I'm asking you.
Nothing, because I don't believe in beating kids.
Mm-hmm. All right, our next story involving kids, and is your, like I say, you the parent, is up to you to say if the kids are being abused or not. Here we go. We got 5 former Mississippi daycare workers have been slapped with child abuse charges after scaring kids who they thought were being bad. Here's the report. And at the end, I want your opinion, because I really don't really have no say. Really don't have no say in anything like this. Well, here you go.
The follow-up from the viral video showing daycare workers wearing Halloween masks terrifying toddlers. Arrest warrants have now been issued for 5 workers involved in the incident. Stephanie Ramos here with the details. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, George. This video is so hard to watch, guys. These daycare workers entrusted with caring for toddlers by their parents are the very people frightening them.
This morning, the daycare workers seen in this viral video scaring the very children they're hired to take care of, now facing multiple charges for their actions.
We started looking into the case to see, what facts there were out there to corroborate the video and kind of where that might lead them to pursue criminal charges.
According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, 5 employees of the Little Blessings Child Care and Learning Center in Hamilton, Mississippi, were charged and arrested. Sierra McCandless, Okiana Kilburn, Jennifer Newman, and Cheyenne Shelton.
Well, shit. They ain't need masks to scare them damn kids. Especially look at Okiana. That's a weird name. Is that Native American, Okiana?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, it is Mississippi, so maybe. I don't know. Look, you ain't need a mask to scare them damn kids. Am I only making fun of them because they were stupid in doing this shit and recording it? That's the only reason why I'm talking about
that one. Jennifer looked like a man.
Yep. Look like he done played on a football team.
Yeah, I was about to say like a
that.
football player.
Yep.
They're facing 3 felony counts of child abuse, and Tracy Huston hit with 2 misdemeanors, including a simple assault against a minor. In the video, daycare workers use a scary Halloween mask and appear to intentionally scare the young children, even chasing and grabbing a toddler at one point in the 2-minute video.
I was in complete shock of what I witnessed, whether they had a mask on or the mask off. Their behavior was unacceptable. My blood pressure was raised. It broke my heart for my child. I was angry.
Speaking to ABC News overnight, Caitlin Johnson says her 2-year-old son is still showing signs of trauma and hardly sleeping through the night.
Sure.
She sees these charges as first steps toward
She's trying to
justice.
get a check now.
Or free daycare.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying jail, and I hope you realize what you've done is serious, and it's not a joke, and it's nothing to laugh at.
Keegan and Alyssa Hayes' 2.5-year-old daughter was also in one of those classrooms. They want us to show her face to see what their daughter went through.
I want them to see the terror on her face, because that is what I see every night.
The owner of the center, who hasn't been charged, says she was not aware of what was happening and that kind of behavior is not tolerated. The workers, including the one holding the camera, were fired earlier in the month.
Just the attention that's been given to this at this point might keep something like this from happening, or people to look into what's going on, in their daycare facilities.
Just heartbreaking. The 5 former workers who were arrested will go before a judge today for their initial appearance and have a bond set. Now, the grand jury meets next year and will decide whether there is enough evidence to indict them on felony charges. Guys.
Well, that video speaks volumes. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much.
All right, you the parent, and Halloween is your favorite holiday. So give us your thoughts on that.
First off, felony charges for scaring the kids is ridiculous to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's that bad. Now, my wife, I could probably get on her to give you her side because we just had to talk about this video. And she think it's real bad. And the kids are traumatized and they might got PTSD. And I was like, people is going to be scared. Like, it's Halloween. Like, it's scary movies out. Like, all kids been scared before or going to get scared. The only thing I say is it shouldn't prolong. Like, once you scare the kid and the kid is showing scared, then move on or calm them down or whatever. Not a prolonged keep going. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't think it's going to permanently damage the kids. I don't think the kid is not being able to sleep and all that. And like, I scare my daughter all the time. She's 4, and I've been scaring her since she could walk. You know what I mean? Sometimes she get real scared and start crying. Then I'm like, all right, I'm just playing. You know what I mean? Then other times she try to scare me. Like, it's no big deal to me.
Okay. Now,
and
what?
like that
go
video, I don't think those people should be going to jail for nothing like that. It shouldn't be no felony.
Do you think they should be fired?
I think maybe suspended, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the one holding the camera and the one that's doing the scaring. The other ones that stood around and didn't do nothing, I don't think they should be suspended or fired.
Okay, so what about the camera? Was it stupid for recording this?
Well, that's just the time we live in now. Everybody incriminate themselves recording dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have had a nice little scary thing going on at the job, and that be that. Like, when you go to these haunted houses and these little attractions and stuff, and they bring those kids be scared shitless. So now you're going to shut down a place and lock up the people that's doing the attractions and stuff. Like, people get scared. It's no big deal.
Right.
Let me see if Shay want to speak on her side though.
Okay.
Get on here real quick.
All right, Shay. We just talked about the Mississippi daycare center where the workers had scared the kids with scream masks. Now, what are your opinions on that?
I think it's beyond deplorable.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be scaring no 3 or 4-year-olds until they crying and running away from you. I don't care if you are playing. And I think they should have been fired and charged.
Okay. And what about the person that recorded?
Them too, because they thought it was funny.
Okay. Do you see? So you don't see it funny?
No, I don't think it was funny at all.
Hey, and Philip said that you said that the kids got PTSD.
They could.
Mm-hmm. Do you think a 3-year-old will remember that?
Yeah.
How long? Ever since until when they grow up?
No, but I think I'm completely aware of emotional trauma at any age.
Right.
As a child, an adult, or whatever. And if something is traumatizing to you, yeah, you're going to remember it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had told the story on our musical episodes, and my cousin had the rock band Kiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had a picture. He had a poster of Kiss. My cousin is 5 years older than me, so he was pretty much a kid himself. He had to be like 13, 14, 15. He was a kid himself. So it wasn't like he was an adult or anything. So he had a poster of Kiss on his wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that poster used to freak me out because you know how Kiss used to dress up.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was a little kid and I remember that when he used to do that.
And it scares you. You never forgot it.
Yeah, that poster used to terrify me. It was Kiss standing on top of the Empire State Building. They was in full Kiss garb. And every time I used to walk in the room, that used to scare me.
But he didn't chase you around with it.
No, he used to like
stop.
No, he used to like grab me and like make me look at the picture. But it wasn't like for 2 minutes like these people were.
This is ongoing trauma. Like, and that's one day that they take the whole house knows whatever kind of weird crap they were doing to them kids.
Right. That's true. So do you think that it should be a civil suit?
Well, that's the only way to get people to know you're not playing with them is to take their money away from them. So
Oh, see, I think some of the parents is going to say, "Well, look, you're gonna have to give us free child care until."
Well, it depends. If you got a kid that's that emotionally, messed up behind it, they need some type of therapy or something. Shit, why not make them pay for it? It's
They
your
need,
fault.
but they need therapy for people running around in scream masks.
It's not so much as them running around with it, it's that you kept doing it. Like you seen it, they're afraid, and they're scared, and they're crying. Like one of them little girls, she was great, and she's like inches away from their face, scaring the shit out of them. Like that's
Right.
not cool. You
So
weren't
you,
just scaring them like boo, boogie, I'm the boogeyman, and we're all playing and we're running around. Like you were in their face, you were blatantly trying to frighten them.
so you think they did this like more than once?
I'm sure of it.
Right, because they did this because the kids, they thought that the kids was being bad.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
said the
how a
kids were bad.
3-year-old.
All of them are bad. Every
Yeah,
single one of them. Like
but
I don't believe it.
my thing is these look like 2, 3-year-old kids,
Yeah,
maybe
they
4.
it can't be that bad at that age.
Yeah, what can a kid do at that age for them to be I guess they being quarantined or something from the regular kids? I don't know. Because they
It
said
looked like
they
they were
thought the
doing
kids
it to
being
all of them. They were sitting there. The video I seen, they was sitting there and they were like eating or
yeah.
supposed to be eating. Like, why are you trying to scare the shit out of them? What are you doing?
Right.
If you were not doing that, they wouldn't be in there screaming and hollering. They'd be sitting there eating.
Yep.
You got them all riled up, and then like I just, and if they won't want to charge them, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let me handle them. If you don't charge them, that's cool. Let me scare the shit out of them for a little while. See how they like it.
Yeah. All right, Shay. Thank you for joining in.
No
And
problem.
join in more often.
Enjoy the work. Okay, I'll try. I'll pencil you in.
All right.
All right.
All right then, Philip. Some Eagles talk. A little
Hold
bit.
on. So let me add something to that.
Okay.
So in the black community, a lot of people, probably more than half, they believe in beating kids.
Mm-hmm.
So what's worse, scaring kids or beating the shit out of kids where they're getting whipped and they're getting scared? But you don't hear people. But you don't hear people saying lock the parents up for beating the kid.
How do you define scaring kids? Like these people just did?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't think that. See, me personally, myself. Like, look, I don't have no fighting the game. So, I don't have any kids, so I don't know how I would react if a daycare center would do that. But that was rather tame.
That's what I was saying.
It wasn't like they was running around with fake heads and machete like
and
that.
all that stuff.
Yeah. They just walked around in scream masks and scaring the kids. I mean,
and it was a couple kids that was sitting at the table that wasn't scared. So you seen the camera lady, like she put it on them and saw that they wasn't scared, so she took the camera off of them just to show the kids that was scared.
Right.
So I don't think that's that bad. And if you want to start talking about all this trauma and all this stuff, yeah, that's possible. But I think it's worse when these kids, like the other 2 videos we just seen, that's worse and more trauma than anything. Or the 3 videos with the 2 kids that was locked out and getting tortured.
Right.
That's way worse than some lady with a mask on scaring you in the classroom.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like they had like fake blood laying around and somebody act like they had cut somebody's head off and chasing them around. No, that was just them recording it. Like you said, it's a whole nother different generation. Recording it was stupid because nobody would have ever known that they did that if they would never record it. You recorded it and then you posted it online. Like what was you thinking about?
Yeah.
Right. So no, the 2 kids being beaten like that was much worse than this. Like you said. Yeah. So real quick on the Eagles talk. The Eagles won Sunday night game. I was just about to say Monday night game. 26-17. Discretion. I had fell asleep on the second and third quarter, and I woke up in the fourth. So I don't have much to say. So do you want to give your thoughts on it?
As long as we can score points, we're gonna be in it. But all this scoring in the first half and breaking records in the second quarter, scoring and then doing nothing in the second half, you gotta stop that shit. Because that shit ain't going. If you keep doing it, it's gonna bite you in the ass. letting these
Yes.
teams get back in games, and then you just barely hanging on for the win and shit like that. If you
Right.
can kick a team ass in the first half, you can kick a team ass in the second half, because in the second half they only can pass the ball to catch up. So your defense should even be better in the second half if you got a big lead. So for us to
Right.
just lay back and just let them get back in the game is bullshit. We need to stop that.
Classic Philadelphia there, where we'll have a big lead and then just take the foot off the gas.
Uh-huh.
And right, classic Philadelphia, we good at doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And
look,
that's why like when teams get blown out in NBA in any sports, and then the other team get mad saying, well, you knew the game was over, why you still trying to score? No, fuck that. You're not breaking no comeback record. Your job's to stop me. If you don't like it, stop it. If you can't stop it, then shut the hell up and take this ass whooping.
yep,
And I
I
always
agree.
believed that. So I never got mad when teams just get, like when you see college football 56-0. Stop a mud hole in their ass. Embarrass them, make them feel that shit so they can play harder the next time.
Wasn't there what's the football running back we just talked, Le'Veon Bell? Then Le'Veon Bell was coaching did you see that, was coaching the
Yeah,
people?
I saw that.
Now that was because
Pee Wee
the
League.
person was running up the score, right?
Yeah.
And they got mad. Yeah,
Yep.
no, you're an idiot for even, was he running up the score or the other person was running up the score?
I think it was the other team.
Oh yeah, he's an idiot for doing that too, because I wouldn't care. I'd be like, well, look, all right, then next year we'll just stop you next time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And if I was playing against a team that was running up the score, I would go to the coach and I'd be like, keep on whooping their ass.
Yeah.
Like my team's gonna be embarrassed, and they're gonna know. I'm gonna always ask them what was the score of the game. The worst ass whooping they got, I'm always gonna ask them what that score was, so they never have to go through that again. They can play harder. You know what I mean? Like to me, and a lot of people get upset about that. And you see grown ass men in sports doing that, in baseball and football and basketball. They get their little fucking tantrums and shit like that because the other team is shoot a three when the game is blown out, or trying to score a touchdown. Who gives a shit? Stop them if you don't like it. As long as that clock is rolling, their job is to put points on the board.
Right. Yeah, I always thought that was stupid. And people get mad at that.
Talking about unsportsmanship and all this. No, you play to win and you play to fucking beat your ass. That's how fucking the Patriots came back in that Super Bowl down 28-0 because they tried to take it easy on them. No, I'm going. If it's 28-0, it's going to be about to be 56-0.
Yep, I agree. Well, on some TV talk, did you watch Fear Thy Neighbor yet?
The 2-part one?
Yeah.
I watched the first one and then some of the second one. I was like, I put it on late, so I was like going to sleep and waking up and shit. I'm gonna have to watch it again because I'm a little shaky on how it ended, but it was a fucked up story.
All right, do you want to talk about it or just wait?
You can talk about it. I mean, I'll let you talk about it since you know every ins and outs, and I'll just like chime in.
Okay, like I said before, Fear Thy Neighbor is a good tool that they need to teach in psychology class, where we get to see people with real mental problems. Because you know, when we say somebody got mental problems, we thinking like somebody's like, you know, banging their head against the wall or like talking to themselves or anything. This guy is another neighborhood mayor that want to do security and all that stuff.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah, everybody thought he was. They probably all thought, oh, he's nice and everything, but that dude is absolutely nuts. And here he go. And then the thing about it is, how about when he was breaking in cars? Well, he said that the cars was being broken into, and then those new people came around. Then their cars was being broken into again, and he's going to blame it on the kids. How? The cars was already being broken into before they showed up.
Well, he caught the kids twice.
Not breaking in, they was just like standing there. They wasn't breaking in.
No, they was looking through the windows from what he said. If you're looking through the window, that's just like you trying to break in. You looking to see what's in
kids
there.
do that shit.
No,
Kids do that shit. Yes, they do.
No,
kids do that shit. And then how about my man, the neighbor, who I think was a crackhead? He's got
what was his problem?
He's got
like
people,
a fucking crack house.
Right. He's got people in the basement, derelicts in the basement doing drugs and all that stuff.
Got a hooker living in the basement, a crackhead living in the basement, all types of fuckery going on at that house.
Right. So they go out, they party outside doing drugs and all that stuff. My man complained about it. So what do? He buys a van and say, hey, you could do your partying and all your drug doing in the van. So what do my man do? He sets the van on fire. He sets the van on fire. And here's the thing here too, and all jokes aside. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, please get smoke detectors. if I'm a married man or a man that's living with a woman and I have a whole bunch of kids in the house, including the baby, I'm gonna have me smoke detectors, inside cameras, outside cameras, a carbon monoxide detector. I'm gonna have all that stuff. I'm a single man. I got three smoke detectors, and one is a combo of carbon monoxide detector in my house. So if you can party and eat ribs and hot dogs, you can afford a damn smoke detector.
They
It was
got
just
them. They
such a
just ain't got
shame.
no good battery in them.
It's just now you're being funny.
I'm being truthful.
It's just such a shame that those little kids had to die like
See,
that in the house like
I
that.
didn't see that very end, like how they died. And then when I woke back up, they was like talking about all these kids was lost and this and that. So I have to go back and watch that last part.
All right, well I'll stop.
Because
Right.
I know my man burned the house down, and then he burned another house down and all this shit. So I know he was a fucking
Right.
crazy lunatic.
He burnt the crack house down, as Philip is talking about. That they was getting on his nerves so much, he burnt the house down and he killed the guy that the guy had an operation, so he was upstairs. He had an operation on his leg or something, if I'm not mistaken.
So
Yeah,
leg or back, he couldn't really move.
right. So he was upstairs and he couldn't get out. So the lady, she could have got out, but for the love, she stayed with him and they both passed away in the house. But like I say, I believe I'm not trying to say that this is the reason why he died, but I think that they were all up to something, but they ain't really said on the show. I believe that they was all crackheads and they was all doing crack
And the
drugs in
old
the
people
house or
was
some
too.
shit. The ones that he burnt with the knee, with the leg. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
See, I didn't understand why they was renting out that place like that with all these fucking, like you said, fucking rejects and crackheads and a hooker and all this shit.
Because they was doing it too.
Or they was getting a check and they was giving them money. So they said, fuck
Mhm.
you, do whatever you want, as long as you're giving us money to pay this rent or whatever. I don't know. But when you got old people upstairs in a house like that, when you go save them, like you know they can't make it out, before you run out the front door, when you go grab them.
And plus, you know that my man had operation, so you know he can't move around.
Right.
Even if he picked his ass up and threw him out the window. Hey, look, you saved him. I mean, he gonna be fucked up. His leg or something gonna be broke or something, but he be alive. So even if you did that, like you said, but yeah, that was just that was a sad story when it came to them kids in that house. Well, I'll leave that alone. You'll see it for yourself. Okay, I guess we can talk about the season finale, your House of the Dragons. First we gotta talk about the last episode before the season finale of my man there. He loved women's feet.
Oh my goodness, that was some weirdo shit, wasn't it? And I said, as soon as she sat down, I said, "What are you about to do?" And she put her, I said, "Oh shit, he's about to get the feet thing going."
And for more information, she had to take her socks off and have her bare feet there while he pleasured himself to her feet.
well, remember when he first started giving the info, he stopped. When she had the feet, he stopped. He said, "Oh, you got to get deeper than that." And that's when she took them socks and stockings off or whatever. And then that's when he started feeding her more of the info.
Yeah.
She a goddamn queen. She don't got to do that. You can tell me what you know, or I'm gonna kill your ass.
Yeah. She could have had one of those the main soldier. What's his name? The main soldier that she be hanging with.
Oh, Sir Christian.
She could have had him there and like, look, what information you have, or like you said, or he gonna slice your throat, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. And you ain't gotta do that. Just fucking, he got one good foot. You about to lose this other foot if you don't tell me.
Yep. And okay, now in the season finale, like I text you, I believe it was the mom's fault for allowing that boy. I would, if we all about to go on to war, I would have never sent him over there to relay a message. Send one of them soldiers over there to relay a message.
Well, I think because he had the same blood as the who was that, the Baratheons or whatever.
Yeah,
he had like some of their blood. I figured she probably thought like he'll be safe over there. They ain't gonna do nothing because that's his own family. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But so shit, he didn't know that dude the foot. And it's crazy because they caused that guy to lose his eye, but they still like little kids, and he's like a damn near a fucking adult.
Yep.
Now, why he keep growing, but they stuck at the same age?
Yep, because he like damn 20-something years old, and like you said, the other kid is like damn 13, 14.
Yeah, y'all always kids at that size when y'all took his eye and shit. And now he's an adult, and you still a little ass kid, and scared of him. They calling you the pup. You the same age as this motherfucker.
And they was the ones that they was laughing at with the pig and shit. Yeah, he was a little kid with the pig, and then all of a sudden he's a grown adult, and my man's still a little kid. They still laughing at him about the pig and shit.
And shit, his dragon's like 10 times bigger than that little kid dragon.
Yep. Yeah, the mom should have never. I would have never sent. I would have sent the soldier like, look, relay a message to such and such. I wouldn't have sent him out there like that.
Well,
like
you
said,
you don't even have enough soldiers, so shit, just send a bird. You know how they do back in the day.
Exactly. Yep. And then our man, he came back. He's alive. He's fucked up, but he's alive and everything.
Oh, the brother.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good episode. I felt bad that the other brother died because the boy that cut his head off, he's still riding with your family.
Yeah.
He didn't cut your head off. And I'd be like, fuck that. He got to go.
Well, see, the thing is, she told him, his wife told him that your brother's dead, but she didn't say what happened.
Right.
So so in other words, he really don't even know.
I mean, but word should get around that. Goddamn, my man cut his fucking head off as soon as the king said it. You know how people gossip and talk.
Yep, exactly. And they just sent him there planning wars, and he helping them out. Like, no, you got to block this.
And the girls was there when they saw their uncle get his head cut off.
And yep, everybody just sit there and don't say a word. I guess they may be scared because she's like the queen or something. I don't know. It's funny how she just named herself the queen too. She said, "No, fuck that. I'm the queen."
She is the queen.
No, the brother's the king.
No. She's the queen. Ain't nobody. Only thing we know is that lady said he said that. No, and nobody else was around.
She was like, well,
as
wait
far
a
as
minute.
we know, the last time the king talked for all those years, he kept saying his daughter is going to be the queen when he died.
Yeah, but you know, those that council really didn't want her to be the.
And that's why they pushed. And that's why they pushed forward. Okay, you said that. That's right up our alley. You know what I mean? And just stuck to it. But they probably know that's some bullshit.
And she was like, "Oh no, wait a minute! She got her. They didn't give her a crown and everything. That's the funny part about it. So
that's the real crown that he must the knight stole because I looked at the king and that's the same one he was wearing.
Yeah, that's the same one. You're right. That was the same one.
And then you have the guards that say, "Hey, I'm here for you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of agree. Like as far as we know, she should be the queen.
Mm-hmm. Well, the hand. The hand is the one that started all this anyway. This is the
minor daughter in there.
Yep, this is the hand's fault.
Yeah.
That it's a battle between the families going on anyway. It's all his fault, and he ain't even related to him. Well, he's related now, but he ain't even related to him. And he the one that started all this, and nobody say like, well, wait a minute, what was you doing, and all that stuff. Like you say, he the one that told his daughter, like, well, why don't you go in there and talk to him?
She about 12 or 14. Go in there and talk to the king. He made him feel good.
Yep. And the thing is with him is with the minor, that was his daughter's best friend. So she was always around in the house, running around, playing around and everything.
Right.
And now that became your damn wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and like I mentioned when I said who was the girl that Egon is it Egon? That was his sister. So he married his sister and had kids with his sister.
That was his sister?
Yeah. Remember she saw the visions when she was a little kid? But she kind of can predict the future or predict what's going on.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, she has visions or whatever. And of course, they aged her because she was a little kid when she said that. And yeah, that's a sister. So he married and had kids by a sister. And then my man got kids everywhere. Did you see how when they was in the hood and it was all the kids with white hair?
Well, they said he was running around like that.
Right. Well, no power, right? You didn't see it all.
No, I didn't even watch it yet.
BMF is supposed to start today, but I didn't see it anywhere. So maybe they didn't release it.
I knew someone. I thought it was the other power that was about to start with Tariq.
No, BMF starts the second season of BMF starts today. Anything else on? Married at First Sight. Like I said, like you said, the environmentalists and the lady, it's teeter-tottering on them.
Well, that's what I said. I said, me and my wife got a bet on $20 on the couples that stay together, and I said that's the only one that's gonna stay together.
Yeah, the one's a doctor, the other one's a physical therapist. Is that better? Because you said don't call her a doctor.
No, do you call her a bum with no insurance?
All right, the doctor husband and the bum with no insurance wife.
Yeah, that's
they ain't gonna stay together. She don't need to be married. She need to discover herself because
she need to grow up and stop acting like a kid.
Yeah, that's because she was closed when she was in, when they was doing the church and all that stuff.
hmm
So she needs to, like you said, she needs to go and find herself. She don't need to be married.
But what's crazy is I got their thing on Reddit, their subs, so I can hear what people saying, and a lot of people are dogging him and talking about how sweet she is, this and that, and some people are saying like, yeah, she got ADHD, but I got it too, and he's being real mean to her, and he's narcissist and abusive. I'm like, what? I said he can't even have a conversation with her without her staying focused.
Yep. So we got the boss lady and her husband. Well, first of all, he don't like staying in her house. He wasn't really too fond of being in her house and
Day
shit.
treater.
Yeah, he wasn't too fond of being in there, and I wouldn't live in her house
Well,
neither.
I said the same thing. I said he shouldn't move in, and she was like, "Why?" You know what I mean? She was all talking about you know what I mean? What if I said you got to pay some bills or whatever? No, it's still your place. I'm not moving in your place.
Right. No, and then like I said, it's gonna be an argument, and she'll
Yep.
say, "Well, look, this is my house. I mean, you can get the
This
fuck
my
out."
house. Get your shit and get out.
Exactly. No, I think it's well, she just got the house, so I don't know what to tell you, but I know one thing: I ain't staying there.
Right.
I don't know if to sell it. You just bought it, so I don't
Right.
know what to tell you, just to sell it or what. But I'm not staying in that house, and he was totally uncomfortable being there.
She like she liked to run the show. She want everything her way or the highway.
Right.
And she want him to say how much he love her and like move fast. And if he not saying it, that mean he don't mean it and all this. So he need to go ahead and just be like he said before. He said, I'm more concerned about my happiness than being married. And that hurt her feelings with that one.
I don't think that's bad at all. But my
It
thing
ain't.
is, he made a commitment. If you put a damn tattoo, is it the ring? Is it her name around his finger, or?
I think it's like the day they got married or something.
Okay, well then that's a commitment right there.
That's
Putting
what
the
he's saying.
tattoo, right? Because I wouldn't get a tattoo, not because of being on Married at First Sight. I just wouldn't get a tattoo like that anyway. We can do rings and all that shit,
I
but shit, he
think
made a commitment to you.
I think she and she told her mom like how she can't trust people and they gotta earn her trust before anything. I'm like, damn, well, can't he like you just trust him until he fuck up? But that's not how she is. So she don't trust people. And then I think she want what the other girls be saying, like their guys like, yeah, I love her, this and that. She like how Justin be saying I love her and the other boy be saying, yeah, I love her. But her dude is not saying it like that, so she feels some type of way. So she's trying to force him to say it.
Right. And we got Justin is the 7 foot tall guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. And his woman, no, absolutely not. They will absolutely not stay together.
Well, when she said maybe we better off as friends, that's your key right there.
Yep.
And I think he went too hard from the door because day 3 he was talking about, yeah, I love you, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. Like you was a nut.
Right. And then, like I said, he gave his damn dog away, which is something I would never do. And like you said, if the roles were reversed and that was her dog that scratched his dog, ain't no way in hell she would have got rid of their dog. She'd be like, well, look, let's just separate them in different rooms and keep your dog in the cage or something like that. She'd have said some shit.
Well, the other girl said the same thing. She's like, I applaud you for doing that because I don't think I could do that. Like, who could? Like, you had this dog since it was a damn baby and you just gonna give it away for a girl you just met?
Exactly. And like I said last week, they got PetSmarts, they got all these places. Well, hell, you can get a dog trainer on damn Craigslist or something.
Well, you see, you see he gave the dog to his friend, so that tells me right there he's probably going to not be with her and then get his dog back. Because he could have easily gave that dog to somebody else. He gave it to his friend.
Right. So no, that was he was a complete idiot for doing that. And like my thing, and Elwin, like you said about the let's be friends, and she already said he wasn't really good in bed. So why the hell would you want to be married to me?
She talk, and it's funny because when they one-on-one together, she talk all this lovey stuff and lovey-dovey all up on him and stuff. But as soon as other people get around, she start dogging the shit out of him.
Yep. And all that crying shit, she don't like neither. When he was crying,
what female would like that shit? He need to stop that shit.
And go ahead.
No, I was just saying because he comes more off as a clown, a sensitive clown, than somebody that's like passionate.
Right. Now, going back to the him not being good at bed. Now she says all this dominant stuff that she wants him to be dominant. Does this mean she's like into being like choked or spanked or something?
I guess she just want to run the show.
No, she wants him to be dominant.
Pretty much just take it.
Okay, so that means like the choke her and like rough sex
I
or
think she's
something?
just saying that as an excuse. I don't think she mean that.
Oh, okay, because she keeps saying it over and over again, and I'm like saying, and then he went and told his mom that she says this, and my thing is like, what does that mean? And his mom said, well, you got to be freaky. So I'm like, well, like, do you want to be choked or some shit? I don't know.
Well, he said he had sex in what 2 years. So
Yeah.
shit, what dude that's not a religious person is just not having sex like that unless you can't get a girl. So if you ain't had that in 2 years, as soon as you get some, you're gonna be a 2-pump chump. What do you expect?
Well, he did talk about that. What I told you in the car. He said, "Well, no, that was the first. No, that was one time. That was one time." Is there anything else you looked at?
Not really. I put this movie in my queue, a couple movies in the queues, because it was this website I was looking at, and this guy explained like movies and shit. I guess these like movies that went under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it's this black girl, she mixed or whatever. I guess their boat get destroyed and she crashes on an island. So she's on an island by herself trying to survive, and then it's like this half shark, half man that comes to the island every night to try to get her. So every night she's like building weapons and trying to get them. And she put like a hammock in a tree so the monster can't catch her. And she's like all the way high up in the tree. And then she's just like peeking out trying to see, and then the thing comes out of the water. So I put that in my queue. It's called Sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to check that joint out.
Now, is this somebody that's known in movies?
Oh no, I mean she looks familiar. I seen her in something, but I don't know what I seen her in. But it looked interesting and shit. And then the other one was what's the guy from Training Day? It looked kind of decent.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. It's about he's like this guy got a time machine briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes back in the time to stop like this. They call him the Fizzle Bomber because this bomber is like killing off all these people. But by him keep going back in time, he changes up storylines and shit. And there's like this girl, she's like real smart, but she was supposed to join the company that he worked for, but they didn't let her join the company because she was pregnant. So she thought like her life was ruined. So he wound up running into her and was like, well, look, he was at like a restaurant and she was like the waitress or whatever at a bar. And he was bartending. She came in. She was like, I got a story I want to tell you. And he started telling the story. He said, we're like, look, I got a time machine. I could take you back and you can go fuck the dude up that knocked you up and disappeared. Because she supposedly met this guy back in the day. He acted like he really loved her. They banged. She got pregnant. Then he disappeared off the face of the earth. So he said, look, well, I could take you back in time. We can go find this guy. You can go kill him. You know what I mean? That way he never got you pregnant. And then when you get to that point in your life where you can make it to the special forces, it's like the Space Force.
Mm-hmm.
They'll hire you because you wouldn't be pregnant. So it's a lot of like twists and turns with like time traveling and fucking up the timeline. I thought that was pretty cool. So I was like, let me check that joint out.
And what's it called again?
I don't know the name of it.
Oh, okay.
But it's an Ethan Hawke movie, and I don't know if it's new. Maybe it came out even 2018 or 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I'll text it to you when I figure it out what it's called.
Anything else?
No, I ain't been watching it.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Gangs of London. You never watched the first season, right? So yeah, I'm not really gonna get into it. You need to put it in your queue. If you like action and all that stuff, you need to put it in your queue.
Yeah, it's so much shit that I got in the queue that I just never got around to. It's a lot of movies and shit.
It's not the Black Phone with Ethan Hawke.
I saw that one. It's not that.
All right.
The Black Phone is a new movie. This is do like if you want to Google time traveling movie with Ethan Hawke, it might come up.
Predestination.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It came out in 2014.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, how do all these movies just fly on the radar and I never even seen previews of these movies?
Mm-hmm.
So I favorite the dude's webpage on YouTube. So now he like breaks down like all these different movies. And I'm like, oh, that look like something I watch. Even thing is, he gives like spoilers that sometimes he gives way too much information. I'm like, all right, I seen enough. I can't even watch this whole video.
Because he'll tell you from the beginning, the middle, and the end of the movie.
The same way you do, yeah.
All right, y'all. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at pnljudgementals, Instagram at _judgementals, or email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. And like I said before, we do have a Facebook. Search YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. Search PNL Judgementals. Like and subscribe. All right, Phil.
All right, y'all.
It's associates, so I be on my dolo. Hold up, woke that, whoa, hold the phone. You think all I do is rap? I can do it on my own. That's why I produce the track. Don't wonder where my crew is at. They'll be back. Niggas see me walking on the block and look like, who is that? Who is that? People always wanna know where my friends is at. Like we attached. I don't need no crew to produce the same effect. How lame is that? Niggas say that we drawlin', but really we ballin'. They mad cause they fallin'.